everyone. I've got a pretty exciting lock here today. This is an ASSA DP 2400 that was sent to me by my good friend Randy Perkins. This is not a twin, an ASSA twin per se, although it does have a sidebar system and a sidebar pins that are, an additional discrete locking mechanism similar to the twin. The difference between the twin and this is that instead of having one sidebar pin under spring tension, it has sliders, sidebar sliders. And instead of those pins being one individual pin per chamber, there are two sliders per chamber. You'll see it when we gut it. It's like somebody cut a pin in half. And so what that means to us in terms of picking is that we have to very carefully use a pick. Now I use this. This is actually a tool I made for picking Schlegg Primus. We have to use a very fine tool like this to hook onto those sidebar sliders. Each half of the pin, each pair, each individual one of the two in the pair has a little arm that comes off of it. And if you're very careful, you can grab one arm or the other and manipulate them. So one pin actually has two possible height positions in this case. Very interesting system, very good system. What makes this lock even more difficult to pick is that it doesn't isolate. Usually with these high security locks, you can isolate either the sidebar system or the top pin system and deal with it one at a time. With this one, I have to mix and match. The tolerances on it are so good that I can't isolate one system or the other. I have to pick one for a while, get it to a point where I think it's ready to move over to the other, and then manipulate that for a little bit and move on. And so it's been a real challenge, a real fun lock to pick, and thanks Randy so much for sending it to me. All right, let's put this thing in a vise and see what we can do. All right, let's see if we can pick this ASSA DP 2400. Knocking the sliders down because they don't have springs. And I figure I don't want anyone thinking that I'm up to no good as far as like trying to leave them set or something. So this lock doesn't isolate, which is a bummer. It makes it very hard to pick because the tolerances are such that you can't isolate independent locking mechanisms. In other words, I can't pick the sidebar first or the drivers first. And so it's really very difficult to tell whether I've picked the sidebar at this point. I think I have, but the real telltale is going to be how the drivers respond. So I have to read the drivers, see if they respond to picking. That'll tell me definitively if I have manipulated the sidebar sliders into position. And there we are, open. Okay, let's gut it. Very difficult lock to pick. And since I don't have a key, I have to be careful not to lock it back up on myself. Or push the core halfway out. Okay, let's get my this being just the DP 2400, we only have the 4 sidebar slots. Oh, shoot. Okay. That was, I believe, pin 6, 5. Darn it. Oh, there it is. 4. 3, 2 and 1. Okay, those are the those are the top pins. What I was actually trying to get out is these split sliders. And so they come in pairs. Very interesting design. They can only go back together one way, so I'm going to knock them out. So this is okay, and so that's the plug completely disassembled. Six. Got one more spring in there. Yeah, chamber 1. All right, so now we have the lock completely gutted. We have the core with the two recesses. It's 2 recesses for the pairs of wafers. The sidebar channel, And the 6 drivers with, of course, the ASSA matched countermilling. And in the body we have the sidebar slot, and nothing going on upstairs really usually in these. Okay, we'll come on down for a close-up of the sidebar and other bits. Okay. Sidebar is a little bit of a unique design. It has that knife edge, and interfaces with those pairs of wafers. The wafers are interesting in that they have, or the sliders have a wide gate on some, and then a very small gate on the others, and I'm not sure why that is. I suspect it has something to do with maybe master keying. I know there's been entropy problems with the ASSA twin line, and so I think maybe that's an answer to the entropy problems. And then of course we have six ASSA barrel spools, and then 6 standard ASSA steel pins. Come down a little bit closer for a look at the sidebar sliders, which is actually the most interesting part of this lock. The way they work. Since there are 2 of them, they line up as such and then operate independently from one another based on their little handles that you can see here. Those handles interface with the cut in the key and allows each pin to be at different levels. And so each of these sliders, these pairs of sliders, are 2 individual sliders on their own, but they're occupying the space of one hole in the plug. And so you can see how they fit into those little holes there. Very interesting design that ASSA's come up with. Okay, so that's the ASSA DP 2400 picked and gutted. I have one more of these Pacific lock. Go up a little bit more. I have one more of these Pacific lock donations from It's Baumgard to give away. So I will be giving this one away. If you look through the video, there'll be an Easter egg with a question in it. Answer that question in the comments below. I'll also have in the Easter egg, there'll be a date when the drawing will be. Answer the question in the comments below, and I'll pick from the correct answers randomly and shoot you a message, tell you won. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this ASSA DP. Thanks for watching.